Hey y'all and good morning. Well, today we're out here on the porch and we're going to be doing a little bit of planting. I've got some beautiful plants that I want to share with you guys. So, one of the problems that we have in our property is we have lots and lots of deer. So, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but the deer just like travel through the woods over here and they just want to come by and just nibble on everything like it's just a big salad bar. So, I've been really trying hard to find plants that were deer resistant. You know, you can't say they're 100% deer proof because if they get hungry enough, they'll eat anything. But we have lots and lots of cornfields around here, so they have things to eat, but they decide to come and eat my plants. But anyway, I digress. So we're going to be working on planting some plants over in our new flower bed that we put in January. And I want to show you guys, these are going to be three different deer resistant plants that also have beautiful purple blooms. So let me show you guys what we're going to be planting today. Okay, so this is our lineup here. And you can see we have a beautiful selection of plants to work with. And I'll show you this one first. Now, this is the cat's Meow. I have the cat's pajamas in the back, and then I also have the Walker's Low cat mint. So this is a type of Nepeta. This is one that grows a little bit taller. This one grows to about 20 inches tall, but it's supposed to not flop. So that is one thing with my Walker's Low. Sometimes it gets so heavy that it wants to flop in the middle. So this will be interesting to see how well it performs in our garden. It has these cute little leaves on it that smell very minty. Some people don't like the smell, but I don't really mind the smell at all. It's not like a smell that you can like just smell by itself. You kind of have to rub up against it. So this helps to make it deer resistant because the deer don't really like to nibble on it because it has that minty flavor. So I'm really excited about trying this one in our garden, and I think it's going to be really, really beautiful. It likes well-drained soil, and it's drought resistant once established. So this is going to be a really pretty one to plant. So the next one is the Platinum Blonde, and you guys know that I already love this one. I have three in the back, and I just could not get my hands on any more last year. So when I saw this one the other day, I think it was at Home Depot, I went ahead and picked it up because I was so excited to finally find one. So this one gets 24 inches tall, and this is a lavender, but it has variegated on the leaves. But you can see it puts up the same little um, lavender flowers, and these will turn purple as they mature. And this one also has a beautiful fragrance of lavender that the deer don't prefer. And it also needs well-drained soil, and it is drought tolerant. Once established, it really just doesn't like to have wet feet. So we have to be careful with that because we are kind of wet here in North Carolina. So I'm super excited that I got my hands on another one of these platinum blondes. Okay, so the next one we have here is the Aromagica Heliotrope by Proven Winners. It has a very light vanilla scent to it, so that makes it where the deer don't prefer it. And then also it kind of has this rough texture on the leaves. It's like almost like velvety, and it kind of has like a little weird sensation on the leaves there. So it makes it a little bit more where the deer don't prefer it. It is a little bit more tender, so you kind of want to see what's going to happen. For us, this is going to be an annual just because our zone is not high enough. It does get 18 to 30 inches tall, and it likes the full sun. And it is zones nine, let's see, annual except in zones 9A through 11B. And so it's going to be an annual for us because we're just not quite warm enough to get that 9A. But I guess if you wanted to put it in a container and bring it inside, you could definitely do that for the winter. So we're going to get all of these placed, and I'm so excited because I think they're going to be really beautiful in our new little flower bed, and we'll get those done today. Oh no, guys, speaking of deer resistant, these are my zinnias, and you can tell they are definitely not deer resistant, and the deer have came in here and made a lunch of them. So I need to go get some spray and get these sprayed as soon as possible because they've eaten off all of my balloons. They're supposed to look like that. I'm so angry at those things. They even had this one dug up out of the ground. It was sitting right here. And then over here, I'm just noticing, looks like they were trying to get this one out of the ground too. Those deer, my goodness. This is the new flower bed that we just put in January, and I did the cardboard method. and I layer over a lot of compost, and then we put our mulch on top of that. And so it's looking really pretty. We have the sparkling amethyst verbena in the front here, and it's kind of flushing out a little bit. As you can see, it was really covered in blossoms, but it will come back again. You don't have to deadhead these, but they do have a beautiful purple color. And then we've got it backed by our foxgloves back there. Those are also deer resistant because they're poisonous. And then so far, cross our fingers, the El Nino Chitapa has not been bothered by the deer yet. That is just like a little native tree back there. I'm not really sure what it is. And then let's look over here. Oh no, guys, I think it might have gotten to my autumn joy sedum. Oh no, it did. Ate the tops off of them. Goodness. They are absolutely the worst. So we definitely have to plant things in here that are deer resistant. I mean, guys, you cannot make this up. I did not. Yesterday I came through and checked on everything and they were absolutely fine. And then today I found all of this destruction. So I'm excited to get these new plants in the ground. Y'all, I could just about cry. Those deer, I was just walking around some more. They had this one totally pulled up out of the ground. This one was pulled up out of the ground. And they didn't even eat it. And this I found on the ground. So I have babied these plants since February. And they just come in here and destroy them all in one night. That makes me so frustrated. Lesson learned that the deer love the zinnias. All right, guys, let's get some of these deer resistant plants in this new bed. This cat's Meow already has a pollinator on it. So this one gets 17 to 20 inches tall. So I think I'm going to kind of place it in the back. So the El Nino Chitapa, it's already got a blossom on it, or getting ready to bloom. It's going to be pink. So this is going to be purple. And then our grass over here, this is the Prairie Winds Niagara Falls. That's going to be tall. And maybe we could plant it maybe right in this area. Kind of having a hard time figuring out, because this grass here kind of has a blue tint to it. And I felt like that if I put the platinum blonde beside it, it might be too much blue. But then over here, the autumn joy sedum right now, if they get to bloom because of the deer eating their heads off, they do get pink, but right now they kind of still look blue. So see that blue, kind of the blue together. So, maybe if I moved the Aromagica in the place of the platinum blonde. Oh, it's got a butterfly on it. Okay, so yeah, I like that better. That's a darker green with the autumn joy sedum. And then we're going to still continue to fill in this area. Sometimes it's hard to make the right choice, but you can always move them around if you need to. As it's getting fuller in this bed, it's harder to get around. Harder to have a place to put your kneeling pad. Oh my goodness, guys. This thing wants to come out of this pot. Wowzers. Oh, oh my gracious. Definitely need to break this up. This has been doing some good growing. Okay, so I'm just going to pull back our mulch here. Just use my little hory knife. We still have cardboard underneath here, but it is starting to disintegrate. I just pull back all of the compost that we put in. Then I get back to the cardboard and I kind of use my hory to cut through that. I don't want to plant this too deep because we do have pretty wet soil around here because we're so close to sea level. Oops, I have my new snips in there. There are some roots from the grass still in here. I just kind of want to break that up. Give this plant a good start. I'm going to put some slow release fertilizer in here. And then some biotone. And then after that, you really don't have to do too much care to your lavender. And mix our compost and our native soil together in here. Put it back around its roots. Okay, so that is all done, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm excited about planting this cat's Meow. So I've had the cat's pajamas for a couple of years now, and I definitely know it does not like to have wet feet because when we had all of that rain last year, we almost lost all of ours. So I moved it to the back near the pool where it's a little bit drier because it kind of drains down. And so we were able to save it, and I was able to propagate some of it also, which was nice. So we started off with 7, and I think now I have 13. And then I have the walkers low. And like I said, sometimes it does want to kind of flop because it gets tall. And they all like to have a good little shear back after their first flush of blooms. And you can see this one is starting to fade out. But you don't have to if you don't want to, if you don't want the maintenance of it. But I don't mind coming out here and clipping it off. It doesn't take that long. So right here is just some grass from where we did our cardboard method. And I'm just getting that out. And then I'm going to mix it with the native soil. This area you can see is pretty wet, so I'm going to plant this one high as well. We have just had 5 days of rain though, so not typical for this bed to be this wet, but I want to make sure that it has its feet up a little bit so it doesn't sit in the water so it can get some air. Those roots have to have air, and that's why they don't like to sit in water. You do have plants like hardy hibiscus that don't mind having wet feet. Okay, guys, so Nepeta typically don't like to be fertilized, but in my area, we do get chlorosis pretty easy on the Nepeta. So I am going to give it a slow release fertilizer and some biotone for root development. But I've just learned that in my garden that I'm going to need that. I have to treat mine every year for chlorosis, which means they just kind of get yellow. And so if you don't have problems with chlorosis in your area, then you definitely don't have to fertilize them. But in my area, we do. Okay, so I'm planting that a little bit high, and we'll come back in with the native soil and our compost and mix those together. And we'll just keep an eye on it. If it looks like it's staying too wet, then we need to move it somewhere else, and we can do that too. Okay, guys, so I was inside and I realized that my mic had stopped working, so I just wanted to come in back out here and end this video. But I hope it gave you some inspiration if you are dealing with deer in your yard, some plants that you can put in your yard. They're not, always going to be completely deer resistant, but maybe it will help a little bit so we can have some beautiful blooms in our yard. But I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a chance to get in your gardens today. Thanks for gardening with me. Bye, friends. Little update. So last night the deer came back in again and ate the tops off of the autumn joycetum, ate all of the blooms off of the heliotrope. They didn't mess with the catmint and they didn't mess with the lavender. So I guess we're going to have to get those taken out of here. And it looks like they came through and ate all of the blooms off of the sparkling amethyst verbena. But everything else is fine. Foxgloves, the little spruce, the grass, the lavender, the mugo pines, the foxgloves, and the El Nino. So far, that's what's happened here. And then over here on this side, I put up the little deer fence yesterday, and it looks like these were, untouched. They're still, recovering from when they got ate the other night ago. But these are still all safe. And these down here, they don't look like they've been touched. So I did pull out a mushroom. So these are all looking good. So hopefully this little deer fence will work to keep them out. I just did 3 runs of the fishing string on there. And I'll have to figure out what to do with that front bed.